of GMC Talks. Guys, I'm at the office. I'm getting ready to leave. I just had another preconceived notion that I thought about, and I got another van running right now. Guys, I put the battery in the other van I was telling y'all about. I put the battery in. Next week, I'm probably going to come back and rearrange that other install van. So I got my work cut out for me. But guys, listen to this shit, man. When was this? My last workout video. I put this up. I believe it was either last Monday or last Tuesday. But guys, I mess around and slept on my shoulder Wednesday. And guys, man, I was in bad shape Wednesday and Thursday. So guys, that's one of the cardinal sins. If you guys are out there working out, for damn sure, I know sometimes you can't avoid it, but guys, make sure you don't sleep on your shoulder. That's going to mess your whole arm workout up, guys. So like, I tried to give it a shot Wednesday night, but guys, I couldn't even do anything Wednesday up until I'm actually feeling better now. But yeah, guys, it kind of sucks, man. I had a good, I had a good rhythm going, but like I said, guys, once you start sleeping on your shoulders, especially once you get up there in age, it takes a couple days for you to bounce back. But guys, let's get into the topic of today's GMC Talks. And this is called customer service, guys. And I touched on this briefly before. Not too much in the detail, but I touched on this before. In regards to preconceived notions, like I said, everybody has them, whether, you're starting off into the trade or if you're even starting off into business. But guys, preconceived notions are funny because, like I said, guys, the older you get more perspective, and now you know how you think now versus how you thought before. That's the beauty of experience. You get to see things from start to finish. But guys, my take on customer service, and I'll tell y'all, like I said, the real rat man. When I first started, like in the HVAC trade, I didn't really know about operations. The only thing I knew is, like I said, how to fix equipment. I didn't understand like human nature or like customer experience. Most of that stuff I just learned, by being around it. And like I said, once I knew, what to do or what to say, like I said, to make people say yes. And like I said, when people say no, I studied it and I figured out, okay, XYZ, if I don't do that, then I have to try another method. Like I learned from trial and error, guys. That's where most of my experience came into play. But guys, in regards to customer service, and like I said, guys, I know most of you guys can relate to me, whether you're in business or if you're just in the trades. But in regards to customer service, like, and I can tell you from my background, like how I grew up, paycheck to paycheck household. Anytime we had, like I said, any expense comes up, everybody got tight chested. And like I said, guys, it is what it is. That's just how I grew up. And like that led into, like I said, once I started doing HVAC, once I go in certain neighborhoods, and once again, guys, no preconceived notions. Like I said, I was telling y'all before, I can work anywhere. I don't have to, as long as they pay, and like I said, and we can do our job. I mean, you put me on a plane and I can go to Indonesia and put in a heat pump. I don't give a damn. But back to what I was saying. Growing up, that paycheck to paycheck mentality, it took me a while to really snap out of it. And I'm going to give you guys an example. Starting into the trades, I'm talking like as a maintenance tech. And let me make sure I'm looking at these comments here. Stacy, what's going on? But in regards to, in regards to when I started doing maintenance, that mentality, and this is not something you're going to realize until you look at this in hindsight. But sometimes when you go through it, you don't think about it until after everything is done. But, when I first started doing maintenances, I didn't really have to deal with big transactions. But in regards to when I started doing maintenances, anytime a customer spends, let's say $400 or $500, me personally, I'm thinking damn, I hope this customer says yes, because $400 in my mind at that time, I'm talking back in 2017. In my mind, I'm like, shit, I hope this customer has $500 to spend. I always put myself in the customer's position, and guys, you wanna have compassion, you wanna have empathy, but sometimes too much of that can be a bad thing. You don't know what the customer can afford, and I mentioned this in previous videos. You don't know what the customer can afford. Just because they live in a low income neighborhood, you don't know what they can afford unless you offer it to them. But it took me a while to understand that. But in 2016, well, actually no, it wasn't 2016. It was 2012, 2013, because I graduated high school. I graduated trade school 2012, 2012, and I didn't get my first gig until 2013. That maintenance job I was telling you guys I was picking up a bunch of renewals, and like, and we're talking back in 2013, guys. Like a renewal on average was like $400 or $500, and like I didn't see that much money. I mean, I didn't tell my employer that, but I didn't see that much money at the time. So like, I'm thinking, shit, like I got like 3 calls today. I got 3 renewals due. Like, how the fuck all these customers are going to pay? All these customers are going to pay $500, and like, guys, like I said, I had that in the back of my mind, and like I didn't think about it. I'm like, all right, I'll give it a shot. But the more I started, you know, I did my job. Like I learned the process, and like people started paying for renewals. I'm like, shit, well, I guess people do have $500 to pay for renewals. But like, guys, once again, you know, coming from that living a paycheck to paycheck mindset growing up, you know, we were always frugal with money. It's not like, you know, we had, like I said, a goose egg for repairs, or if anything or any family emergency comes up. You know, everybody went into scramble mode. That's just how it was. But I projected that into like when I first got into service. I'm like, shit, well, I definitely do want, I want to do my job, and I want to offer everything. But I'm like, man, like, I hope this customer can afford it. And like, guys, if you think like that, I mean, once again, guys, you want to have empathy, but it's a limit to a point where you can't always keep yourself in the customer's shoes, you know, because that could alter your ability to do your job. Meaning, like I said, you know, if you guys are out there doing no heat or no AC calls, if you're scared to recommend replacing a system that's like 30 years old, guys, even if you feel like, you know what, you know, it's holidays, maybe the customer can't afford it, guys, that's not your decision to make if a customer can afford it or not. It's your job to deliver options and make sure the customer understands, you know, what the issue is, and and if you can, derive some options from, hey, you know, can this furnace be fixed, or can this do this furnace needs to get replaced? It's your job to make sure the customer understands, repair and replace, guys. Like, you can't always make decisions for the customers based out of you being afraid to like hear the word no, you know. Like I said, I was telling this to one of the guys the other week, guys. I'm like, look, you know, if a customer tells you no, that doesn't mean you're not doing your job. But most importantly, when you walk away from every service call, you got to make sure the customer understands what you found and what you recommend. If they understand it and they still say no, guys, your job is done. But guys, like I said, you know, like when I say like growing up, it's funny, I say this a lot, but like I said, when I was in maintenance and in service, like I said, it took me a while. I'm talking like years to like really get out of that mindset of like, you know, damn, man, can this customer afford $10,000 for this? Can this customer afford $300 for this? Like, and like I said, guys, once again, I didn't know where that come from until I got older, and now I'm like, yo, like, where did that frugal mentality come from? And I'm like, it clicked. I'm like, you know, that's how I grew up. But like, there's nothing wrong with that, guys. And like I said, you know, either or, vice versa. If I grew up seeing $1 million every day, eventually you're going to think growing up that everybody has $1 million, and that's not true. But once again, preconceived notions, like you have to stop judging people. Like, just because you're in a low, once again, you know, we deal with everything underneath the sun. If you're in a low income neighborhood, of course it is what it is, but you have to, once again, you have to make sure you're doing your job first and foremost, you know. If you don't go out and diagnose a system and give a customer options, I don't care if you're working in the mansion or you're working in the trap house, that customer is going to feel some type of way. Maybe, you know, if they don't fully understand what you're trying to say, or maybe if you don't do your due diligence, if you're trying to do a 2-second diagnosis and then come back and tell a customer that they got to replace the system, gosh, that customer is going to have red flags like, hey, you know, how come why do I need a new system? What did you diagnose? And if you can't explain to them, hey, you know, this is what I found, this is what I recommend, here's what XYZ is supposed to be doing, and here's what it's not doing, guys, if you don't break shit down in black and white, you know, even with social media and digital technology, that human interaction is never going to go away, guys. Customers want to do business with humans, like people that talk just like them, and like I said, people that can simplify shit, you know, like that's customer service 101. But like, back to what I was saying though, is just like, you know, how that preconceived notion that I had, like, damn, man, how can this customer afford $500 for a repair? Like, and like I said, no one taught me this. I just snapped out of it. Like, the more customers I mean, like, just from trial and error, you know, once again, guys, just because a customer lives in the high income neighborhood, that doesn't necessarily mean that, you know, they can afford, you know, XYZ part of XYZ system. But like I said, guys, like, that's the beauty of giving customers options. You give the customers options, and you let them decide what they want to do. So it's not like you're forcing anything, you know. Like I said, it's like I said, in my opinion, guys, it's black and white. But like I said, the game wasn't given to me like that, guys. It was given to me like, hey, you know, here's what you need to say. And like I said, it should work most of the time. It should work most of the time. But like I said, guys, I was collecting these $400 and $500 contract renewals, and like I said, it worked, but I fully didn't understand it. I didn't understand the human interaction that goes behind these transactions. Like, and like I said, guys, I think everything works out in the long run. Everything works out, for the best. But like I said, guys, it's just like, my first time getting that renewal, getting those 3 and 4 leg renewals, like that first company I was telling you guys I worked at. This is back. I think this is in South. It wasn't South Jersey, but it was like almost 2 hours away, guys. This is back when I was living in Jersey. I wasn't in PA, and like I was picking up like 4 or 5 system renewals for like $1,400-$1,500. And like I said, guys, it's funny, man. I was making more money for the company than what I ever seen in my life, and it's just like, damn, like I never seen a customer write a $1,200 check before. Damn, I never seen someone write like a $600 check before, and it's just like, guys, like I said, that's how my preconceived notions went away. I'm like, if I never would have explained to a customer the value of a maintenance, this customer never would pay anything. And like I said, guys, that can be anywhere. It doesn't have to be a high-end customer. It can be anywhere, guys. Like, if you can't simplify things in a way that particular customer can understand, it's gonna be hard, like I said, for you to keep your head above water, especially in service. Will you get lucky from time to time? With selling things, yeah, but like I said, guys, if you don't have that base level foundation in regards to, hey, understanding what you're trying to say, and like I said, what and why you're trying to say it, like understand why you're out there, but like I say, your bread and butter is just going to be simplicity. You have to make sure that you can explain things in a simple way. And once again, I explained this in another video, guys, like how I talk to customers is not going to be how I talk to you guys. Like a customer doesn't need to know every component inside of a heat pump. You're not explaining this shit to a student that's in HVAC. But like the point is, guys, you have to make sure you're competent on your own. Make sure you know what you're talking about. But then next level is just simplifying it. Hey, see this part here, this little green thing. Hey, this little green thing does XYZ. It's supposed to be doing 1, 2, 3, but it's not. And like I said, guys, you just go with the flow, man. So like I said, guys, that's just another crazy, like I said, notion that I had, seeing that first, this is back in like 2013. So like, it's like I said, guys, that company I worked at, it was like maybe 200 or 300 people at that company. This is a large company, but like I said, guys, seeing that on a day-to-day basis, I'm like, shit, well, like, I thought a customer would scream at you if they pay over $200, and I'm like, but that's based on what I seen growing up. So like I said, guys, me seeing that, that definitely opened my eyes to a point where I'm like, you know what, shit, if I can do my job, I can do this shit anywhere. It doesn't have to be like in a certain area, But, all right, guys, I think I got mad bots in the comments. Peaches, what's up? I got a PS5. Cool, congrats. But yeah, guys, I mean, as far as, like I said, just with preconceived notions, I got a bunch more. But guys, I gotta go to the car wash. I'm gonna show you something here. The last install we had, the whole bottom side of this van. I think last Monday and Tuesday, it was raining that morning. And I went, I think, the customer's house, and their parking lot was like a bunch of fucking mud and grass. So I gotta go to the car wash. And I got some service calls I gotta run on Monday. I'll be sure to put whatever I run tomorrow up so you guys can check it out. And I like running these bad boys. I think this is the one, guys, this is the one that I put the battery in on the last, this had to been like at least a month or two ago. But that's the one I just put the battery in. But guys, like I said, these vans are like storage units. It's a bunch of install shit. And I got to get this one wrapped, but it's a bunch of install shit that I got to put inside here. But like I said, guys, it's funny. I don't know what state are you guys in. We're in Pennsylvania. I wasn't expecting the weather to feel like this until like the end of next month. So like, I had at least 2 customers call us this past week, and it was like, yeah, is it time for AC maintenance? And guys, I wanted to tell them no, but I'm like, wait a minute. let me look at the weather forecast. And like, I think next Monday and Tuesday, it's gonna be like almost 70 degrees. So like, guys, at this point, this is just some random yapping shit with business, guys. Last year, this is how we got into a situation. We usually don't do AC maintenances until like late, I want to say mid to late April. That's like a nominal. I'm talking for us, you know. You guys may be different. You guys may start late. You might start early. But usually mid to late April, that's like usually when we start. But guys, listen to this shit. Last year, we had a few warm days in March. And like what happened was we got caught up on a big job. And it took a few weeks towards the end of March. And it took us into April. And then guys, as soon as we got done with that big job, the phone started ringing off the hook. And like instantly from that install, I think it was a mini split unit. As soon as we got done with that job, we had to instantly do AC maintenance. And so like, guys, the point is like from a business standpoint, you want to be prepared before the big rush comes in. But like guys, sometimes the rush comes in late, it comes in soon. Better yet, guys, you know, regardless, like I said, you guys have your own shops. You want to make sure you guys are trained up. You got at least you got your basic AC stuff, you know, whether it be refrigerant, gauges, whatever. But like last year, guys, it took us at least 2 weeks to like really get into the flow, because like I said, last year the weather started hitting a little bit early. So I don't know what the game plan is going to be for next week. I think if anything, guys, you know what I might do? All the installs or all the refrigerant related repairs that we made over a winter, I might call them next week to get them looked at. I think next Monday and Tuesday are going to be the 2 warmest days. I may do that to get them out the way. And like I said, I mentioned this before, guys, anytime we install an AC unit, or if we put in like if we make a refrigerant related repair, anything done over the winter, like we always come back towards the first 70-degree day of the year, like before the weather gets hot. And like I said, we just make sure that everything is rocking and rolling, you know, before the weather gets hot. Because like I said, guys, once late April, May comes in, like I said, your phone's going to be ringing off the hook. You know, people want maintenances, people want quotes, and like I said, guys, either you're ready for it or you're not. It's not really much of a question. You know, if you're ready for it, you knock it out the park. If not, it's going to take you a couple of weeks to get adjusted to the flow, you know. So, but yeah, guys, that's all I had. That's all I got. I got to get going. I think time went forward. We just lost an hour. So right now, guys, it's 1:49. It does feel like it's a little bit early, but like I said, guys, rock out. And like I was telling y'all before, I got a few jobs I got to run next week. I'll be sure to put up whatever I can. And most likely, I know I'm probably going to have to do some AC calls next week. Like I was telling y'all, just AC checkups, brand new systems that we already put in. So guys, be on the lookout for that. I got to lock up and I got to hit the road. Make sure I ain't got no new comments here. Do I have any cheese pizzas? What the hell are you talking about, cheese pizzas? But all right, guys, I got to rock out. I will see y'all mofos in the next one. Peace.